It's tabletop time! We're finally coming back to the bloody Space Bears Kill Team Stormbird hangar. It looks boring empty. Let's put stuff in it.
Space Bears.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm a space bear.
Just a little taste of epic things to come. Look at that epic scale of awesomeness. Time to go paint some Space Bear terrain.
Yay! So I've been really jealous how often you guys get to use the airbrush. So this time around, I definitely wanted to do it myself. And I had a lot of fun doing this. It's actually not as intimidating as I thought it would be. I wanted to do some object source lighting because we had the lights and the generators. Generators typically aren't blue, but for the Space Bears and 440K, I thought blue would just kind of help everything.
Yeah, that'll make some nice pop on the board. Yeah, that'll look really cool.
Of course, I had to add in some rust to really make these things look like they've been here for a very hard winter.
And with Jen perfecting the terrain for the board, I was meanwhile in my office perfecting a little something special myself.
We're doing it. We're doing it. We're finally doing a Raid Shadow Legends sponsor spot. Dave, it's finally happened.
It's happened? Raid Shadow Legends is sponsoring the video?
Yep, I'm just unbelievably excited. Like, the Raid Shadow Legends. And you know, with over 600 champions, all of them come from unique factions and have their own backstories.
My favourite's the High Elves. Their backstory is really awesome. Their homeland, Aravia, has been around for thousands of years, surviving the fall of the Lizardman Empire.
But then things got twisted when Siroth, Lord of Darkness, convinced a bunch of elves to go evil and attack the kingdom.
Wait, are you talking about Raid Shadow Legends? That civil war nearly ended the owl, but Avaria came back and now it's better than ever.
But what's new with Raid?
Well, this month is huge for Raid Shadow Legends. In fact, they just released a brand new faction, the Sylvian Watchers, with some amazing new champions. Forest Elves, Ents, Druids, Fays, they're all here.
And I can't wait to summon them all.
And if that's not enough, Raid's got a huge lineup of events, along with a new season of the Forge Pass.
All right, guys, let's get ready. We got a sponsor read to do. And the craziest thing is, if our viewers are members of Amazon Prime, they can get exclusive rewards in Raid right now.
Hey, if they use our link, they get $30 worth of bonuses. They include a free champion, Vergis.
Yeah, it's
200k
insane.
silver, an energy boost, a refill, and an ancient shard so you can summon awesome champions as soon as you get in game.
I can't believe it. Like, it really is that easy. They just have to click the link in the description and all the treasures they're waiting for them. This sponsor read's gonna be a breeze. You ready? 1, 2, 3.
This video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
Click the link in the description to get started today. The greatest mobile game of all time.
We got some colour going down.
Yeah, we've got one of the broken wings of the Stormbird.
And it's all coming together to the point where we can actually start getting the board ready. So we've got our rusty pieces. We don't have streaking grime yet, do we?
Not yet.
Not yet. That's the next stage. I bagged the streaking grime.
Oh, yeah?
I am going to tackle the board. I have some ideas, mostly based around this. I really like the rock gradation that we did on this board. So I'm kind of going to do something like that with the strata really clear on the board. Mostly using an airbrush, and it should work pretty well.
I knew everything was going to get covered in snows and grime and become quite muted. So it was really important to establish strong color values underneath all that. Otherwise it would all kind of wash into itself and look like a big bunch of blur. So I knew that I'd gone for these wild poppy colors, but I wanted to create a fairly boring standard tarmac. So I sprayed that general gray and then just sponged a whole bunch of stuff in to look like chips and scratches. I wasn't too worried about being accurate here, but I knew halfway through when Jen gave me some sketchy eyebrows that my yellow sponging off some markings was a little bit rough, but it's by design. It's all gonna get covered up. We just need to get the idea of a tarmac out here, and it's gonna look great when it's done, I promise.
Looks here like like you've sneezed on the project.
Well, I did, but aside from the sneezing on the project, I also poured a whole bunch of weathering oils and pigments.
Looked like a bird took a shit on the board.
Oh no, the storm,
like a
the
bird,
storm
like a
bird.
bird with health problems.
Yeah, I just used a whole bunch of oils, different engine grimes, different weathering grimes, and just went really ham on the board to make it look like it had been used for a century and not really cleaned, you know.
I've put in the groundwork, the foundations. We've got a lot of colors, some effects drying here. It still needs some dry brushing, and Murray and Jen's awesome bits they've been working on. And you guys can start like hacking the board apart and fitting the catwalks in. I didn't take it all the way to completion because I thought if we're going to be pulling foam out and like destroying it to glue stuff in, we shouldn't finish it. But we'll finish it once that's in.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
The colors really pop, but they have to because they're going to be super muted when the snow goes in.
And dry brushing as well.
But this is sick.
This is the base of our watchtower. It doesn't have a door. I could print one, or I could cut one out. We have a little door. Aha. Alright, so I've just glued all of these catwalk pieces together to form one nice big gangway that's going to hang above the hangar. So if I just poke it in.
Hey.
Yes. Ta-da! One more part done.
High five.
Yeah. On to the next one.
I am going to work on the doors. They need a little bit more greebling to them. They're looking a little bit sparse, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'm going to spray them black and some silver and add some texture as well. So we'll see how we go. I gave it a bit more greebling just to add some more textures onto it, and once I had the silver down, it was time to add some colour.
And my work wasn't good enough, is that what? Yeah.
No.
It was a good foundation.
Okay, thank you. So I noticed that when the door had come together, the silver bear claw did blend a little bit into the rest of the door, and I kind of thought it needed to look like the Space Bears logo, which is always depicted on cream on black. So with a little bit of delicate negotiation, Jen, I did manage to convince you to make some changes. What do you think?
Look, it was a change for the better, I really think. Once it's on the door, this piece stands out way more.
And there. Ta-da! It's all in. Hell
Pretty
yeah.
cool. This is exciting. It's coming on.
Yay,
Cool.
go team!
All right.
Gotta glue it all in.
Sure do. It's going there now. First one glued in.
Yeah.
If you're wondering why I'm using a big gloopy craft glue, frankly, super glue is just going to absorb it into the sculptor mold. And we want just a little bit of cling between all the different materials. And that should hold it perfectly fine.
G'day everyone, I'm Jazza and it's grime. It's time to grime. It's grime time television. It's tabletop grime. Yeah, that one's pretty good. Now, snow looks great on contrast and on darks, and the grime is also going to help push everything down to the murkier, slightly darker level. But what sort of grime? It used to be streaking grime. We went through that whole rigmarole of finding the new streaking grime. I like track wash. And I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to use as much as I can because I don't get this opportunity very often. So here is the scene of the grime. I'm going to go for earthier grimes around the outside, oily grimes around the inside that sort of complement some of these lovely patchy gross stains that we got happening. Bit of red around some machinery for a bit of rust feel, and mix it all up in a beautiful coalescing swirl of grimy goodness. So first things first, we're going to decant our grimes into little spray bottles. Starting off with my favorite, AK Interactive Track Wash. Ooh, that's grimy. Weather is shocking. Then we have engine oil, which has a slightly glossy finish. This would be good for some of the machinery areas. Oh my God! What is happening out there? It's leaking inside. Next, let's do dust and dirt deposits. And then a little bit of black wash for ultimate contrast. Oh my God.
Now, my griming philosophy, which has been refined over many years and generations of griming. I come from a very grimy family, you guys, so that might make sense of it. But
Glad you sharing this with us.
it's so fun putting it down, but it's just as fun lifting it up. And obviously, you know, you kind of have to go overboard to bring it back a notch or two.
It's kind of sculpting with clay.
Yeah, like in picking your areas, like for example, the tarmac has that really sort of clean concrete look before, except for the bits that were spewed on. So like really lifting that up pretty aggressively with paper towel, so it contrasts with the more muddy nature of the mountains and some of the grimy engineered bits. Like trying to create contrast, even though the grime itself kind of muddies everything together a bit, is pretty fun, and it's very satisfying because it does end up looking really unified by the end.
Yeah, we've really started using those atomizer bottles for the streak and grime and such. They're really pulling their weight.
That is looking so good.
Pretty grimy. You know, I like my grime. I'm a grime connoisseur.
Wait, is that more than one type of grime?
That is like 5 types of grime, sir. It takes a cultured grime palette to grime this hard.
What are you doing, Jen?
I'm wrapping the Stormbird in cling wrap.
Are you eating it, or what's the go?
Yes, it's for lunch tomorrow.
I don't pretend to understand. I'm merely a documentarian.
All right, Dave, would you do the honours and put our Stormbird where it belongs?
Cheeky bastard. Okay. All right. I'm still unsure as to why you guys have covered this in Glad wrap.
All right, let me explain.
Oh, the board's warm.
Snow falls where the ground is visible from the sky. So that's why the Stormbird is glad wrapped and in place, because now we can snowfall, but take it out and it'll have a clear place as to where it lives.
Very cool. That makes sense.
You start off with a sculptor mold mix with
Actually, just water and no pigment this time. It was pure sculpted because we thought the color would pretty much look like dirty snow anyway.
So how are we refining the snow?
Well, I didn't like it, so I went and grabbed some of the snow from the other room, which is really sparkly and looks like it has glitter in it. And I kind of mixed like 1/3 of that with the snow flock, just to give it that little bit of wet, reflective sheen that I think makes snow look alive. And that started to bring it up and make it look a bit better, I thought.
I agree.
Good.
Yeah.
I love sparkly snow.
Then, yeah.
It's the most snowy.
It's not glued yet.
Quick! You can't control the weather, clearly. If there's a theme of today's video, the weather cannot be controlled.
When you got a little dribble and that's all you got. We don't have glue on it. Oh my God. This is so jank. I think we need to wait because there's no glue. Joss?
What? It's the weather, Dave.
It's not.
It's the weather.
Because then it just.
It's a snowstorm.
It's not gluing onto anything.
It will. It will if you have faith in the Emperor, Dave.
How is it gluing?
It's cold enough that it magically sticks.
Blizzard. Ah! I like it. I like some of those clusters.
Yeah.
It looks sort of...
There's a big goopy patch there.
Yeah, that's what happens with the spray adhesive, by the way.
Now, we've done a snowboard before, and it worked really well. And none of us remember how we did it, and none of us have gone back to check. It's really easy. We could just go back and watch the video. You can go watch the video right now. We didn't watch the video, so we're just sort of winging it and hoping it works, like we did in that video. So it'll be fine. And after all of that, we have one beautiful finishing touch to really bring this to completion. And that is, what is it, Dave?
Yellow snow. It's a specialty of military installations, battlements where people spend long shifts, but just do one. I kind of imagine the yellow snow would kind of cascade off the edge of this battlement. Careful drip. Oh, look at beautiful.
Look at that. So I feel like 2 little footprints.
Beautiful.
It's finished. Epic reveals. Okay, that'll do. Now this video, and we do say this every video, but it really couldn't be more true with a project like this, is not possible without our patrons. You guys really make all the difference.
And if you'd like to support us on Patreon, there's heaps of cool benefits, including weekly behind the scenes video and our monthly mini review, which is very popular with our community.
And if you're not a patron yet, go check it out. We have a lot of fun. We have a beautiful community and we all really get to brainstorm some really cool stuff like this. This is actually a really satisfying project because it stemmed from a brainstorm thing and there's been lots of steps, but some people have sort of said it feels like something that's never gonna finish. We have one step left, and that is the storm bird.
It's a small step. It's a very small
Just
step.
tiny, just fractionally marginal small. Wait, it won't take long.
Am I making a storm bird in Epic?
Well, I did say that's the last step, but actually when it's done, we're gonna do a kill team match.
But wait, Jazza, you guys still haven't done the last battle report that you were supposed to do.
You're right, Dave. We filmed it and post-production takes some time. But with Patreon support, it takes less time. So go support us on Patreon. So, so as we've all been doing for a while now, we do the awkward outro. So do we have the awkward outro list? Shall we bring up the list of awkward outro ideas?
Yeah, what's on the schedule?
It's pretty slim. There's not enough puns in here. I feel like we should be doing awkward puns at the end instead of awkward outros. But could you really bear that?
A new exotic punishment.
We can barely bear it in this space for bears.
What's your pun, Jen?
Bears.